What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR and welcome back to another movie review. And today we're going to be reviewing, drumroll please, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Which, now that I've rewatched this, I have a bit of a different stance on the film. Yeah, like, not even joking. I have a different look at this movie now. Like, not even joking. So, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase was one that I really liked when I was younger. I even had a Game Boy game for it. With Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase on the Game Boy Advance. And I played the heck out of it. We're not talking about that game, we're talking about this movie. Which, here's the thing. This movie could have done so much better than what it did. The concept of the gang getting imported into a video game based around them is really interesting. And you could really have done a lot with that. You could have brought references back to previous movies, references back to previous series, which I think there were a good bit of series back before. This was before Scooby-Doo, What's New Scooby-Doo, which was, I think, the next coming animated Scooby-Doo series, which was coming up, that came out in 2002, I do believe. And I believe something may have influenced the final decision into that with this movie, because the animation style is upgraded, but it does still feel like it goes along with Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, and Alien Invaders, and Cyber Chase feel like they all go together. Those ones feel like they all fit together and they fit within a piece of a puzzle. This one, though, I do feel like was set the groundwork for what would eventually become What's New Scooby-Doo, even though it still felt like those movies. And What's New Scooby-Doo does have a pretty much a kind of a different art style and a different turnout. And there are later movies that are definite tie-ins to that series. There's like quite a few that are actually a tie-in to that series, which is insane. But I think I do believe that this did influence a little bit of what that series turned out to be. Even though it does tie into those. But the thing is, they haven't gone through a video game in the movie, and they could have done so much more with the levels. There's a little bit of Scooby-Doo-esque things, and the final level in the game, which is the final act of the movie, is really interesting, and it's really done well, and it's really entertaining. Just to think that, hey, that's really cool what they did there. Like, that's a lot of fun. That's really fun, and like everything they did with them interacting with themselves and all that is really cool. And I really like that concept. I thought it was really, really interesting for them to do that, because I had so much fun with that. But everything else in between, there's stuff to enjoy, and like legit, like the first 3 levels you see them go through, but then like levels 4 through 9, they just speed through them. Like, I really think they could have done better stuff with that. Like, example, they go to a fantasy world where Shaggy's dressed as a knight, and they could have like done the Black Knight ghost in there. That would have been really cool. That would have been a great little Easter egg. The prehistoric time, the pterodactyl ghost could have been something from that. Well, the pterodactyl ghost that was from the original series, wasn't it? Don't quote me on that. But they could have done so much with that. Not sponsored, by the way. But this movie does have a good bit of problems. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There was a bit of, I'm trying to fix the camera to a better angle. That's better. There was a good bit of problems with this movie that I really just didn't like. And this does make this a weaker one of the Scooby-Doo movies, of the ones that I've. And the Phantom Virus isn't really the best character, best villain, really. It's an interesting concept for a villain, but then he's basically Voltron in the real world, and it feels really weird sometimes. And the fact that you're trying to, the mystery isn't really even a good mystery because you're trying to figure out who made the virus, and literally it's painfully obvious the whole time. It makes you you're sitting there you know which one it is. But I'm not trying to crap all over this movie because this movie isn't terrible. Like I said, the third act is amazing. I love the third act. The third act is so much fun. And literally, for some reason, we have 2 montages in this, which is, I feel like we only needed 1. And something I've noticed with these Scooby, from Zombie Island to this movie, they have their own little iterations of the theme of the Scooby-Doo Where Are You theme in them, which I think was intentional to have all those do them. That's also another reason why I iterate that they're all connected, and they're those ones are all part of one big series. I think I could say the animation is upgraded, but it still resembles the other 3 movies that came before it. And I did the little Easter eggs in here back to the older days of when Shaggy had a red shirt, which was a really good callback to that in this. There was a few little callbacks to some of the old Scooby-Doo stuff, which I did like. But then again, all that is in the third act. And the mystery isn't even that. A lot of the characters are rather forgettable. The new characters that are pretty forgettable. Which all the other movies gave us memorable characters. This one, though, the characters are rather forgettable. Don't get me wrong, the stuff in cyberspace is really cool. They do actually have some fun with that, even with the levels being generic. There is some fun that was done there, and I do like the first level, which is a moon level. I do actually like. It's a lot of cool. It's actually pretty cool, but I really wish there was more to it. And I do think that moon level probably inspired a later Scooby-Doo movie that came out later down the road. The thing is, this movie some things I don't think they did exactly what they could have done, because there was so much more potential with this one than they gave us. We could have gotten so much more, but the potential for what they had there wasn't the best what they gave us. Which I'm not complaining about. It's not the best. It's definitely not the worst we've had. But the thing is, it is one of the weaker ones. It's definitely down there, probably my second least favorite probably so far, or maybe third, I don't know. But the fact is that this just didn't resonate well with me. It just didn't resonate well with me because just some scenes I'm and we got actually a good taste of what was to come with What's New Scooby-Doo. Because a lot of times in What's New, and so that was in the original series where Shaggy and Scooby would get into a costume and fool the monster. Was really interesting. To see them pull that back they did that back in Scooby-Doo Where Are You, and they used it a lot more in the series that came later, What's New Scooby-Doo, and that was kind of a recurring theme in Scooby-Doo at that point, and so I was glad to see that was in this. I don't really think we've gotten that in any of these other Scooby-Doo movies. Now, the other 3, the past 3 were kind of more serious, that had a good bit of a serious tone to them. The last 3 movies I reviewed. But the thing is about Scooby-Doo Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, it started to near back into that kiddie point, which I have no problem with. Obviously Scooby-Doo is a kid's property, but I was not excited. I was really expecting more from this, to be honest, going back and looking back at it. It's just, they could have done much more with this movie than they did. And I'm gonna have to give it a 3.5. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. Just gonna have to say I was a little disappointed going back and rewatching this one. But guys, we will be getting into the next one. I'm actually start watching it here in a minute. Is Scooby Doo, the movie from 2001, 2, 3, somewhere on there. Somewhere in that year range is what this movie is. The thing is, I have this one on Blu-ray, so I get to watch it in good quality. So let's go. So I'm about to watch that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.